A new month means a new Social Security payment schedule, and May 2026 has some important dates you need to mark on your calendar right now. But today's video is about more than just dates, because in the last 7 days, the financial landscape around Social Security shifted significantly, and what happened this week directly affects how much you will receive in January 2027. The Federal Reserve held rates steady, inflation expectations jumped to 4.7%, the 2027 COLA forecast moved higher, and a new proposal in Congress could fundamentally change how working seniors interact with Social Security. By the end of today's video, you will have the complete May payment schedule, your exact expected check amount for this month, the updated 2027 COLA prediction, and 3 financial moves to make this week based on everything happening right now. Let me give you the full May 2026 Social Security payment schedule so you know exactly when to expect your money. SSI recipients and those who receive both SSI and Social Security receive their May payment on Friday, May 1st. That payment has already gone out. Those who began receiving benefits before May 1997 are also paid on May 1st. For regular Social Security retirement and disability benefits, the schedule is based on birth date. Birthdays between the 1st and the 10th will be paid on Wednesday, May 13th. Birthdays between the 11th and the 20th will be paid on Wednesday, May 20th. Birthdays between the 21st and 31st will be paid on Wednesday, May 27th. So here is your complete May calendar. May 1, SSI, pre-May 1997 beneficiaries, dual recipients, already paid. May 13, birthdays 1st through 10th. May 20, birthdays 11th through 20th. May 27, birthdays 21st through 31st. The Social Security Administration suggests that if you do not receive your payment on the expected date, allow 3 additional mailing days before contacting the agency. Most payments arrive on time because 99% of beneficiaries are paid electronically. If you are in the May 13th group, your payment is just 10 days away. Make sure your direct deposit information is current at ssa.gov right now. If you changed banks recently, update your account information immediately. A stale routing number means your payment bounces and can take weeks to reprocess. One more important note for May specifically. Nearly 71 million Americans receive Social Security and 7.4 million receive SSI, according to January 2026 numbers from the Social Security Administration. The 2.8% cost of living adjustment took effect in January, meaning recipients should be receiving at least $56 more per month on average compared to last year. Now let me talk about what is actually hitting your bank account, because the gross benefit and the net deposit are 2 different numbers, and understanding the difference prevents a lot of confusion and unnecessary stress. The 2026 earnings limit for people under full retirement age all year is $24,480. The SSA deducts $1 from benefits for each $2 earned over $24,480. For people reaching full retirement age in 2026, the limit is $65,160, with $1 deducted for every $3 earned over that amount until the month the worker turns full retirement age. Here are the benchmark amounts you should be seeing in your May check based on the type of benefit you receive. The average retired worker benefit is approximately $2,071 per month. The maximum benefit for someone retiring at full retirement age in 2026 is $4,207 per month. The maximum benefit for someone who waited until age 70 to claim is $5,181 per month. For SSDI disability recipients, the average is approximately $1,580 per month. For SSI recipients, the maximum federal benefit is $967 per month for individuals and $1,450 for eligible couples. Now subtract your Medicare Part B premium of $202.90 from your gross benefit. That deduction happens automatically before your money arrives. If you pay Part D drug coverage premiums or a Medicare Advantage premium on top of that, subtract those as well. The net number is what lands in your account. If your May deposit is significantly different from what you calculated, either higher or lower, there are 3 common explanations. First, an overpayment withholding has been applied. Review your SSA account for any recent notices. Second, the earnings test reduced your benefit because you are still working and earned above the threshold. Third, a life event that you reported to the SSA, a change in income, living situation, or Medicare coverage, triggered a benefit adjustment. In any of these cases, log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov first. Your payment history and any active notices will show you exactly what happened. Here's the section of today's video that has the biggest long-term financial impact on your life, the updated 2027 COLA forecast. As of this week, the picture for your 2027 Social Security raise has shifted significantly, and in a direction that most beneficiaries will find surprising. Let me walk you through exactly what happened. On April 29th, the Federal Reserve held rates steady at 3.5 to 3.75% in what turned out to be Jerome Powell's final press conference as Fed chair. In the days before and after that meeting, two critical inflation data points dropped that directly influenced the 2027 COLA calculation. The IMF projects that headline inflation will rise to 4.4% in 2026, driven primarily by the Iran war and elevated oil prices. The reference forecast assumes a moderate 19% rise in energy prices in 2026, and even under that relatively optimistic assumption, global inflation rises and purchasing power erodes for households worldwide. The Consumer Sentiment Survey from the University of Michigan, released last Saturday, showed year-ahead inflation expectations jumping to 4.7%. That is not what the Fed or the government projects. That is what everyday Americans believe will happen to prices over the next 12 months, based on what they are living through right now. Here is why this matters for your 2027 COLA. Your cost of living adjustment for 2027 is calculated based on the CPIW inflation reading in July, August, and September 2026. We are now in May, which means we have approximately 2 to 4 months before the measurement window opens. The inflation trajectory between now and September is the single most important financial variable for tens of millions of Social Security recipients. With oil prices still elevated due to the ongoing Iran conflict, inflation expectations running at 4.7%, and the Fed on hold with no cuts before September at the earliest, the 2027 COLA is trending meaningfully higher than the 2026 level of 2.8%. Independent analyst Mary Johnson's current estimate is 3.2% for 2027. The Senior Citizens League is at 2.8%. But with the inflation backdrop as hot as it currently is, both of those estimates could move higher when the April CPI report drops on May 13th, the same day as your first wave of May Social Security payments. We will cover that CPI report live the moment it drops. Merrill Lynch's chief investment office currently expects 2 additional rate cuts in 2026, suggesting they believe inflation will eventually cool enough for the Fed to ease. If they are right and inflation cools by Q3, your 2027 COLA could land at 2.8 to 3.2%. If the Iran conflict persists and inflation stays hot through summer, 3.5% or higher becomes realistic. We will know more on May 13th, June 11th, and July 10th as each new CPI report drops. I want to address something that created significant controversy in the Social Security community this past week, and that every beneficiary deserves to hear about directly. On April 16th, an X account asked users to name a huge scam that has been normalized. Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama responded on his official account, Social Security. The post immediately went viral and generated enormous anger from Social Security recipients, advocacy groups, and members of both parties. Let me be clear about the context. Senator Tuberville was almost certainly referring to concerns about the program's long-term solvency, the legitimate policy debate about the 2032 trust fund depletion, and whether the current structure is sustainable. That is a real and serious debate that serious people have across the political spectrum. But calling Social Security a scam, using that specific word, is both politically reckless and factually wrong. A scam implies deception and fraud. Social Security is a program that 185 million Americans have paid into throughout their working careers, with the explicit promise that those contributions would fund their retirement income. The program has delivered on that promise for 86 years. Social Security is less than 7 years from insolvency, at which point the law calls for a 24% across-the-board benefit cut under current projections. Despite facing large deficits, Social Security now pays the wealthiest couples roughly $100,000 in annual benefits. These are real solvency challenges that deserve serious legislative solutions, not inflammatory social media posts from sitting senators. What the Tuberville post does reveal is the ongoing political vulnerability of Social Security as the 2026 midterm elections approach. With every member of the House and 1/3 of the Senate up for re-election in November, how politicians talk about Social Security and what they propose to do about the 2032 crisis will be one of the defining issues of the election cycle. Pay attention. Vote accordingly. Here are 3 specific actions to take this month based on everything we have covered today. Log into ssa.gov, confirm your direct deposit information is current, and note your exact expected payment date from the schedule above. If you are an SSI recipient, your May 1st payment has already arrived. Check it against your expected amount. If you are in the May 13th group, you have 10 days to verify everything is correct. Do it today. This is one of the most important days for Social Security recipients in 2026. Your payment arrives the same morning that April's inflation data drops. The April CPI will be the first complete month of data since March's 3.3% shock. If it comes in higher than expected, the 2027 COLA forecast moves up. If it shows meaningful cooling from March's level, the outlook becomes less clear. We will be covering it live on this channel the moment it drops at 8:30 a.m. Eastern on May 13th. Subscribe and turn on notifications right now so you do not miss it. The new $6,000 senior tax deduction for those 65 and older with modified AGI up to $75,000 for single filers or $150,000 for joint filers is available for the 2026 tax year. You are 4 months into 2026 right now. Meet with your tax preparer or use a tax estimator tool to model what your 2026 tax liability looks like with this new deduction applied. If you are projected to owe federal taxes on your Social Security benefits, this deduction may significantly reduce or eliminate that liability when you file next year. Planning now, rather than waiting until tax season, gives you time to make strategic adjustments to your income sources and withdrawal timing. Today's complete May rundown. SSI paid May 1st. Already done. Regular SS pays May 13th, 20th, and 27th based on your birthday. Your May check reflects the 2.8% COLA minus your Medicare Part B premium of $202.90. The 2027 COLA is trending toward 3.2% or higher based on current inflation. Watch the April CPI drop on May 13th with us live. And review the new $6,000 senior tax deduction for your 2026 return. If today's video helped you, hit like and subscribe. Share this with every Social Security recipient you know so they have the complete May picture. Drop a comment. What birthday group are you in and when is your May payment coming? I read every single one. See you tomorrow.